on, Foxy. It's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with the Moana Nui Podcast. We are here at Dreamhack Atlanta, and we're here for our next interview with Slimy with Rooster. Slimy, can you introduce yourself and let them know what country are you from?
Well, my IGN's name's Slimy, or I'm Kayla. I'm from Australia.
Okay.
Far away. So I'm
Nice.
from Sydney.
Okay. Well, you're still part of Oceania with Hawaii, so that's perfect. One of the questions we have is, when did esports feel like a viable career for you?
Well, when you, it gets to a point at time when you play for so long, where you start to realize that you're better than other people and you have longevity in your career, and you can also look at other people and see where they came from. And when you do that, you see people with similar lives and opportunities you have, and that's when it starts to become very viable. Mm-hmm. Because if these guys are the same as me, then I can also have the opportunity.
Yes. And let's see, I'm looking at all their questions. What was the game that made you love gaming?
Love it?
Mm-hmm. That you start playing, it's like, oh yeah, this is it.
Well, I think everyone's had a stage in life, and they were 10, 11, 12, playing Minecraft.
Okay, yes.
I loved that, and also the competitive side to it. But yeah, also I've been playing CSGO or CS2 for a long time.
Okay.
Since I was 11, 12.
Okay.
So that really pushed me to be more competitive, and I loved it. So
very nice. How has gaming become beneficial to your mental health?
Well, I think for a lot of people, gaming is just a way to relax and just do what they like. You know, some people will come home from school or work and just relieve themselves through gaming. So what was the question again?
Beneficial to your mental health.
Oh yeah. I think when I started, it was just a way to relieve myself and just to do what I like. People need to find a passion that they enjoy.
Yes.
For me, it was gaming.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of how I like it.
Okay, very nice. How do you balance your personal and professional life?
Well, for me, currently, I do uni. I also have to balance a girlfriend as well, and then also CF. Just everyone will say it, but it's very normal. It's just you have to make a schedule of stuff. You have to be very, very on time, and especially with uni, when you got a lot of work and you have to practice a lot, you need to have a schedule. You can't let things flow.
Okay. And how do you think esports have changed the perspective of many in the world about gaming?
Well, I think esports definitely has had a much larger effect on the more older communities. Gaming has always been targeted towards younger audiences.
Yes.
And when you can start realize that so many jobs can come from this, all the player managers or the photographers or the makeup artists, everything that goes into these events, people will start to realize that this is an actual opportunity for people, jobs, players, professional players. And I think that's it's had a positive effect in the world. So yeah.
Awesome. And what game has kept you engaged the longest and why?
Well, I think obviously it has to be CS2.
Okay.
I think genuinely just the ability to just let my competitiveness fly. Every single game you play, there's never a casual CS2 game. Especially not there are beginners that play casual, but for someone you play a couple years, there's never a casual game. If there's someone who's very, very competitive, that's what I live for. It's really kept me satiated.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, very nice. And are there any routines or things that you stick to before a match?
Before a match?
Yes.
Yeah, there is. So before a match, I specifically want to get in, like, everyone normalizes, warming up, you have to get ready, be very warm, you have to be able to shoot. But it's also a mental side to things. You can't let nerves get to you in a stage like this, especially like when you're like not as experienced as I am. So like you have to get into the right mental state and be like, you have to go out there and just put everyone that you're good, you can do this. And I feel like I do, for me specifically, I do like breathing for it.
Okay.
I'll talk to myself, So yeah, I'm also focusing on mental, but then also during like warming up, I have to do like at least 20 minutes of warm up in the game I play, so I'm like ready. You can't really warm up a little bit or too much because you'll be too tired or you'll be playing bad. So you have to find like the right amount of time for you, and that differs between people. So.
Okay. Great advice. What is your most memorable or exciting win?
Exciting win.
Yeah.
Probably when I first joined Rooster, we played in the RMR calls, so for the major calls. We versed a team called Talent, and this Talent team was supposed to be built up to be this like super team, like with all the best Australian talents and stuff. And then we played them in the call on the first match, and we beat them 13-5. We smashed them, and I think that game everyone was really like firing, and we were all good. Not in the grand final, we versed them again, but that win like really put it in perspective, like how good we were, because we could destroy a super team like this.
That always gives you that extra boost. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
How do you feel esports can become more inclusive in your country?
Well, I think compared to like EU and NA, Oceania doesn't have a lot of organizations going into it that fund like professional teams. And because of that, people aren't able to put as much time into the game, and that's just going to make people get worse compared to EU. In EU, you have like maybe 50, 60 organizations that can put salaries on players and give them full days, full work weeks, so they can play the game and get better. And over time, it's kind of fallen off a bit for Oceania. So I think the way like Oceania gets better and has more opportunities is if more organizations look at Oceania and say, hey, maybe this team could be good enough in the future if they play enough, and can give them the right resources to do it.
Okay, give them that support and help make it happen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see, making sure I'm not missing anybody's questions, so I don't hear from anyone.
It's all good.
Well, I think that's similar to one of the other questions is, how do you prepare for a major match?
Okay, so major match, usually these matches will take place like 6, 7 p.m. So like I usually will wake up and I'll start my day playing the game, so I'm warm, and then you can play for however long. I'm going to play a couple of matches and then I'll take a break, so I'm not tired. And that's very important, is that I'm not playing all day, so when I get to the game, I'm exhausted. So I'll play for a bit in the morning or in the afternoon, take my break, and then maybe a few hours before the game, I'll get on, re-warm up again, get into the right mental state, and then I'm ready.
Very nice, very nice. Now, for those that are watching, how can they be able to support or follow Rooster or yourself on social media?
Well, on Twitter, we have the Rooster page on Twitter. Also individually, I'm on Twitter as well, @Slimy1. So I'm there as well. Basically everything with Rooster will be on the Rooster Twitter. So yeah, I think it's just @RoosterCS.
Okay.
Twitter.
Awesome. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in here at Dreamhack Atlanta. Definitely continue to support and cheer from across the ocean and across the continental United States and wherever you are for Rooster and Slimy and his teammates. And definitely continue to tune in about additional interviews that we're going to have with more of the guests here at Dreamhack Atlanta. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it cedar lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.